People were hungry. Half the town is near starvation. There were no food stamps, no farm price support, zero federal safety net. So the banks took your money in the 20s and they bet wild bets on the stock market. When the stock market collapsed, your money disappeared. And they had no reserves to pay you. I'm Timothy Egan. I'm doing the Common Read, talking to students about my book, The Worst Hard Time. You sometimes don't know what you're going to find. This is a story of the Dust Bowl in the 1930s, the worst environmental disaster in our history. It's a Kansas story. It's an American story, but it's mostly your history. It's the history of this state.
How did they survive? I mean,
it's a hard story with no really easy answers, but I think it's incredibly rich. Even for my first read, I realized it was a really good fit for our students. The Common Book program is a common reading experience for all of our first-year students. We provide each student with a copy of the book at orientation, and the expectation is that they will read the book over the summer.
I think let's try groups of 3.
And so the conversations that take place are designed to get students talking to one another. At this point, most of the discussions have been led by trained student facilitators, but we've also been very fortunate to have the chancellor, other program directors and administrators join discussion groups.
You know, I love comic book programs. It gets everybody thinking about some single narrative. If you're lucky, the book crosses a lot of disciplines. It has an economic story, it has a social story, political story, a religious story, a land story, and people found all those themes in this book. A lot of people came up to me and said, my takeaway point of this is perseverance, resilience, toughness, that my problems are relatively small. The things that I had takeaway points at, some of these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids told me.
Thinking about my family's history, as far as like my grandma going through it and growing up during that time, and thinking about all the hardships she had when she was just a little girl, kind of makes me put all of my own problems into perspective.
You write so that you can have an impact. You write so that you can move hearts and minds. And I certainly felt that at KU.